Every morning, life gives us a new chance, an opportunity to start fresh, to adjust our choices, and prepare our minds to face whatever challenges arise. Stoicism teaches us that the start of the day is more than just waking up. It's a time to align our thoughts with our values and gradually build the inner strength that guides us. The way we approach the first few minutes can set the tone for the whole day, but how can we begin with the right mindset? How can we prevent anxiety, fears, and distractions from stealing our peace before even getting out of bed? The Stoics, with their wisdom that has stood the test of time, left us powerful lessons to face these questions. They understood that the most important struggle happens within us, and that the morning is the perfect time for this training. Nourishing firm, clear, and focused thoughts is like preparing a tool to handle the world. Each day brings uncertainty, but also new opportunities. The secret lies in how you choose to see it. You can start complaining or expressing gratitude, with doubts or determination. Great Stoic thinkers remind us that we have the freedom to shape our attitudes. What will you do with that freedom today? Stoicism is a guide that teaches us to turn our daily routine into something meaningful and to find beauty even in challenges. In this video, you will learn 10 Stoic reflections to listen to every morning. Simple yet profound ideas that can change how you start your day. Leave your thoughts in the comments, like the video, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the upcoming content. Shall we begin? Listen to these lessons and start your transformation now. 1. The first battle happens inside you. No one can hurt you without your consent. Marcus Aurelius. Every day when we open our eyes, we face our first battle, controlling our own mind. Before even putting our feet on the ground, thoughts arise. Some are positive and inspiring, but others come like shadows, worries, insecurities, or memories of something that went wrong. This is the essential battle the Stoics spoke of, learning to master our inner world before dealing with the outer one. Think about this. No one can harm you without your permission. This lesson from Marcus Aurelius teaches us that true pain or suffering doesn't come from the outside, but from how we interpret and react to situations. Remembering this in the morning is a way to prepare yourself to master your emotions throughout the day. After all, how can something external control what is inside you? You are the guardian of your mind. The first step is to be aware. When you wake up, take a few minutes to observe your thoughts without judging them. They come and go like clouds in the sky. Realize that you are not your thoughts, but the one who observes them. This simple practice is incredibly powerful. It's the beginning of the Stoic mental training that turns an ordinary morning into a moment of strengthening. Then, choose which thoughts you will allow to stay. The Stoics teach us that we have the power to accept or reject ideas. Ask yourself, does this thought help or hinder me? Does it strengthen or weaken me? Starting the day with this selective mindset is telling the world that you will not be a victim of circumstances, but the author of your own story. Examples help make this clearer. Imagine you wake up worried about an important meeting at work. Anxiety rises and your mind creates scenarios of failure. Here, Stoicism acts as a compass. Ask yourself, did I control everything I could in this situation? You probably prepared, studied, and did your best. What's left is to accept and trust in your ability to handle the moment. The meeting itself is neutral. It's your perception that makes it good or bad. Another example is the impact of social media as soon as you wake up. How many times have you compared your life to others in the first minutes of the day? Marcus Aurelius would remind us, why worry about what others do or have? True wealth lies in controlling your desires and thoughts. Deciding not to check your phone in the morning is declaring that your state of mind won't be influenced by external factors. The first battle is internal, and winning it means starting the day with focus, clarity, and strength. No matter what the world throws your way, you'll have a solid foundation. Mastering your mind is the first step to achieving what you want. And remember, this battle is not won by strength, but by wisdom. Choose your thoughts like a gardener chooses the plants they want to grow. By the end of the morning, when you look back, you will see that you began the day winning where it matters most, inside yourself. This is Stoicism in practice, turning the ordinary into something extraordinary. 2. Accept what you cannot change. It's not the events that upset us, but how we interpret them. Close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath before starting your day. Imagine everything that could happen. Maybe the traffic is a mess, maybe your boss is in a bad mood, or an unexpected message brings news you'd rather not hear. Now think, what is the one thing in this whole scenario that you can truly control? It's yourself, your reaction, your way of thinking, your perspective on things. This is the essence of what Epictetus teaches us. It's not the traffic that makes us anxious, but our lack of patience. It's not the boss who affects us, but the way we interpret their actions. Everything begins and ends in the way we choose to view the events around us. Imagine you are sailing through a rough sea. The waves keep coming, the winds change direction, and the storm seems endless. But you can't control the sea or the wind. What you can do is adjust the sails. This is what this reflection is about. The world won't stop throwing challenges your way, but you can decide how to handle them. Now picture your day. Instead of fighting with traffic, you choose to listen to something that motivates you while driving. Instead of getting frustrated with your boss's bad mood, you decide to see it as a chance to practice patience. This doesn't mean accepting unfairness or ignoring problems, but choosing to face them with calmness and wisdom. Epictetus said that life is like a play. You don't choose the role you'll play, but you decide how to act. Think about that when you encounter situations beyond your control. Today, you can either waste energy trying to change what you can't, or focus on what really makes a difference. Often we get anxious over problems that haven't even happened yet, or we get stuck in things from the past. But here's the truth. The future isn't in your hands, and the past is gone. All you have is the present. So what can you do? Start with a simple question. Can I control this? If the answer is yes, do what needs to be done. If it's no, let it go. This isn't weakness, it's wisdom. You don't lose control by letting go of what was never yours. On the contrary, you gain clarity and freedom. Want an example? Think of the sun and the rain. You can't choose today's weather, but you can decide how to prepare. If it's sunny, enjoy it. If it's rainy, grab an umbrella. But never blame the sky for something that's natural. This is the big lesson from the Stoics. Accept what you can't change and focus on what you can. So, when you open your eyes in the morning, ask yourself, what can I change in myself to better face this day? This small habit can transform your life because peace doesn't come from a world without problems, but from a calm mind. Now think carefully. What will you stop trying to control today in order to focus on what really matters? The choice is yours. Remember, the waves will keep coming, but you are the captain. Adjust the sails and move forward. 3. Live the present fully. People live as if they'll never die and die without truly living. Think about it. How many times have you truly embraced the present as if it mattered? How many times has your body been somewhere, but your mind was somewhere else? This reflection confronts us with a reality. We spend much of our lives either stuck in the past or worried about the future, while the most valuable moment, the present, slips away unnoticed. The present is the only real moment you have. The past is already gone, a memory that can't be changed. The future hasn't come yet, just a possibility. Still, we waste so much time mourning what can't be fixed or worrying about things that may never happen. And in that process, we forget to live. Imagine waking up in the morning. Before even getting out of bed, your mind is already full of work problems or something someone said yesterday. You get up, have breakfast, look out the window, but you don't notice the sun or smell the coffee because you're distracted. Stoicism invites us to wake up to the life happening right in front of us. To live in the present, we must be mindful. This doesn't mean ignoring the past or giving up on planning, but finding a balance where the now gets most of your energy. Try throughout the day to bring your attention back to what you're doing. If you're walking, feel your steps. If you're talking, really listen without letting your mind wander. Epictetus reminds us that life is long enough, but we spend so much time on things that don't matter that it feels short. Reflect. How many days have you lost worrying about what others think? How many mornings were wasted reliving something that can't be changed? Living like this, you not only miss out on the present, but you also carry a burden you don't need. The practice of living in the now can start with something simple. When you wake up, take a moment to be grateful. No matter how hard things may seem, there's always something to be thankful for. The fact that you're alive, breathing, and have another chance to try. Then, set a purpose for the day. Ask yourself, how can I live fully today? Another way to practice this reflection is to accept that everything changes. Nothing in life is permanent. What you experience now, whether it's a good moment or a challenge, will pass. This isn't a reason for sadness, but rather a reminder to make the most of what's in front of you. Living in the present isn't just an idea, it's an act of courage. It's telling yourself, today I won't stay stuck in the past or worry about the future. Today I will truly live. When you make this decision, you realize that life is full of small beauties that we often miss. A smile, a ray of sunshine, a kind word. These are the moments that really matter in your day. Remember, life doesn't happen somewhere else or at another time. It's happening here, now, and it's up to you to live it with purpose and intensity. So, what will you do right now to make your life richer and more meaningful? After all, the present is all you truly have. 4. Greatness lies in small gestures. The perfection of character is in living each day as if it were your last. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, makes us think about how often we wait for something big to give meaning to our lives, like a promotion, a dream vacation, or the day when everything will fall into place. However, true greatness doesn't lie in those big achievements, but in the small daily gestures that, when added up, reveal who we truly are. The Stoics believed that a person's character isn't measured by grand moments, but by how they handle the little things. Marcus Aurelius, as emperor, had the power to shape the direction of an empire. Yet he believed that real excellence came from how he dealt with simple daily tasks. The same goes for us. Think about this. You start your day with a small act of gratitude, maybe a smile for someone in your home or a kind word to a colleague. This simple act, though it may seem small, has a huge impact. It sets the tone for your day and often brightens someone else's day. A smile can break a chain of bad moments, and a kind word can change someone's mood. It's these little actions that matter because they are consistent, while big events are rare. Being a reliable person isn't something you build with one moment of glory, but with small promises kept. Being kind isn't a decision you make once, but something you practice every day, even when no one's watching. So why do we place so little value on these simple actions? Maybe because we've been taught to associate happiness and success with big accomplishments. The truth is, while these achievements are important, they are rare. The daily grind, however, is full of opportunities to make a difference in your life and in others. Every small action is like a brick in the building of your character. How can you turn little gestures into something special? Maybe by doing something simple with care, like doing a job well, even if it's repetitive. This shows discipline and respect. Or maybe by making someone a cup of coffee with warmth and presence. The Stoics also remind us of something important. Small actions often require more virtue than big deeds. Forgiving an offense, for example, seems like a small thing, but it requires emotional control. Keeping a simple promise shows integrity. Saying no when something isn't right takes courage. These virtues are learned and strengthened in everyday actions. So ask yourself, what small act can I do now that reflects who I want to be? Maybe help someone without expecting anything in return. Maybe listen to someone attentively without looking at your phone. Greatness lies in finding the extraordinary in what seems ordinary. It's in the sum of these actions that we build a life full of meaning. Today, look at each action as an opportunity, because in the end, it's these small acts that tell the story of who you are. 5. The opinion of others. Just a shadow. If something external is bothering you, the pain doesn't come from the thing itself, but from the way you see it. Marcus Aurelius invites us to imagine the following. You're walking through a forest at noon. The sun is high, and your shadow appears beside you. It changes as you move, but it's always just that, a shadow. Now think about other people's opinions. They are like that shadow. They're there. You might notice them from time to time, but you should never confuse them with who you really are. How many times have you avoided doing something because of what others might think? Maybe you've skipped speaking in public, hidden a creative idea, or acted differently than you wanted to. This happens because, somewhere in our minds, we believe that other people's opinions define our worth. But here's the truth. Other people's opinions are just a view, not the reality. The Stoics show us that what really matters is inside us. Marcus Aurelius said, we shouldn't worry about what people think or say because those opinions are beyond our control. They reflect other people's experiences, beliefs, and limitations, not our true character. Think about it. No one criticizes you tomorrow unless you've changed who you truly are. That's because other people's opinions are projections, not a true reflection of reality. Just as you can't control which way the wind blows, you can't control what people think or say. What you can control is how you react to it. To put this into practice, pause for a moment and think about the choices you're postponing because of the fear of judgment. Maybe it's changing careers, having a difficult conversation, or even something simple, like wearing clothes you like. Ask yourself, If no one could judge me, what would I do? This question is freeing because it reconnects you with who you truly are. A powerful example comes from Socrates, who was ridiculed and criticized for much of his life for questioning society's norms. He could have given in to the weight of people's opinions, but he chose to stay firm in his pursuit of truth, saying, "I would rather be who I am with the truth on my side than please the crowds with lies." And you? How much of your life are you living for yourself and not for others? The Stoics also warn us that the pursuit of external approval can weaken us. When you hand over your peace to others, you're giving them control over your happiness. But when you decide that only your own judgment matters, you regain your freedom. So, how do you deal with other people's opinions? First, accept that they exist, but don't let them deeply affect you. Second, remember that no one knows you better than you know yourself. And third, practice Stoic indifference. Prioritize your actions and values over any external judgment. Today, choose to live as if no one is watching you. Take courageous steps toward what truly matters to you, because in the end, the shadow of others' opinions cannot extinguish the light you carry inside. 6. Everything is temporary. Notice how quickly everything changes and see that the essence of the universe is transformation. Marcus Aurelius said, "Close your eyes for a moment and think of something that worries you now. It might be a problem at work, a recent argument, or even a goal that feels far away. Now ask yourself, will this still matter a month from now, a year, 10 years? This simple reflection reveals a fundamental truth of Stoicism. Everything in life, whether challenges or joys, is temporary. Impermanence is one of the great certainties of existence. Everything that begins will eventually come to an end. This might seem sad at first, but it's actually a source of great freedom. When you understand that nothing lasts forever, you begin to value the present and let go of what's not essential. Marcus Aurelius invites us to see the flow of life as a constant, inevitable river, always moving. Think back to something that once seemed impossible to get through, maybe a disappointment, a mistake, or a loss. At the time, the pain felt endless, but now it seems distant, perhaps even forgotten. This cycle shows that pain fades with time, just as the thrill of great moments also passes. Nothing stays the same forever. This understanding helps us face tough days with more calm and enjoy the good moments with more focus. Imagine this scene. You're stuck in traffic and anger begins to take over. But then you remember, this moment isn't forever. This traffic jam will end, and so will my frustration if I choose not to feed it. Suddenly, the problem feels smaller. This same logic can apply to much more complex and challenging situations. Stoicism teaches us to embrace impermanence, not as a sign of surrender, but as an opportunity to live better. Knowing that everything passes reminds us to value what we have while it's within our reach. How many times do we forget to appreciate the people we love, the small joys of the day, or even our health? When we realize nothing is guaranteed, we learn to give more value to these moments. At the same time, impermanence helps us overcome fear. What seems scary today may be nothing but a distant memory tomorrow. Epictetus said that fear often comes from a wrong view of reality. By remembering that even the greatest challenges have an end, we can face them with more courage and less anxiety. But how do we apply this idea in practice? Start by viewing your life as a cycle of changes. Notice how the seasons pass, how people come and go from your life, and how you've changed yourself. All of this is part of the universe's nature. When something good happens, make the most of it, knowing it's a temporary blessing. And when something bad happens, remember that the pain is fleeting, like a storm that will soon be replaced by clear skies. Impermanence is not an enemy, but an ally. It reminds us that every moment is unique and special, but also gives us the strength to face what seems unbearable today. Throughout the day, ask yourself, what am I valuing right now that deserves more attention? And what am I fearing that will soon no longer matter? Everything is temporary. This truth can free your mind and strengthen your spirit. After all, in life's constant flow, what remains is how you choose to navigate its currents. 7. Choose the challenging path. Nothing truly important comes easily. Epictetus presents us with a dilemma. Imagine you're faced with two choices. One is straight, with no apparent obstacles and easy to follow. The other is full of twists, rocks, steep climbs, and unexpected challenges. Which would you choose? For many, the automatic choice would be the easier path. After all, who likes to face difficulties when they're not necessary? But Stoicism invites us to view this decision from another perspective. The challenging path is the one that strengthens our resilience, patience, and character. Epictetus reminds us that nothing truly valuable in life is achieved without effort. Think of something you admire, like playing an instrument, practicing a sport, or leading wisely. All these achievements require work, patience, and dedication. There are no shortcuts to excellence. It's through challenges that we find space to grow. Now think about how this applies to your daily life. Maybe you're dealing with a tough situation, postponing an important conversation, trying to reach a distant goal, or struggling to maintain discipline in changing a habit. Stoicism teaches us that these moments are not obstacles, but opportunities. Each time you choose the difficult path, you're strengthening yourself, shaping your essence like a sculptor working with marble. So why do we avoid the difficult path? The answer lies in our nature. Our instinct seeks comfort and safety. Our brain, designed to save energy, prefers the comfort zone over effort. However, Stoicism reminds us that true progress only happens outside of this zone. It is through struggle that we discover our true strength. Imagine a warrior preparing for battle. He doesn't choose to train with light weapons or avoid tough exercises. On the contrary, he seeks the toughest conditions to be ready for anything. This mindset can be applied to your life. If you decide to face challenges, you will be more prepared to handle any difficulty that comes your way. A simple example of this is the act of waking up early to do something important, like exercising or meditating. The warm bed feels tempting, but getting up and facing the initial discomfort is a small act of courage that can set the tone for your day. Another example is that intimidating project. Starting it, even without immediate success, is an act of strength that brings you closer to your goal. The beauty of the hard path is that it turns challenges into purpose. Every stone you overcome, every climb you face, builds something within you: confidence, discipline, and courage. These are the pillars of a meaningful life and can't be found on the easy road. Today, when faced with choices, ask yourself, is this difficult? Does it challenge me? If the answer is yes, maybe it's the best option for your growth. Choosing the difficult path isn't about seeking suffering, but accepting discomfort as part of the learning process. Remember, gold is refined in fire, and true strength doesn't come from comfort, but from overcoming. Next time you have two options, ask yourself, which one will help me become the person I want to be? Because it's on the hard path that we find greatness. If you seek peace, do less, or better yet, focus on what matters. Marcus Aurelius said, "Imagine your life as a board filled with scattered pieces. Each piece represents a task, a commitment, or a worry occupying your mind. Now ask yourself, how many of these pieces really matter?" We live in a world that pushes us to do more, be more, achieve more. But Stoicism, with its timeless wisdom, suggests another approach. Do less, but with higher quality. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that tranquility doesn't come from doing many things, but from focusing on what truly matters. Often, we're so busy trying to fix everything that we forget to prioritize the essential. Life turns into an endless list of tasks that drain our energy without bringing satisfaction. At the end of the day, what's left is exhaustion and the feeling that something's missing. Stoicism invites us to stop and reflect. What truly deserves my attention? This doesn't mean abandoning responsibilities, but learning to differentiate what's important from what's just noise. Think of a jar filled with water and sand. When you shake it, everything gets murky, but when you let it sit still, the sand settles at the bottom and the water becomes clear. The same goes for the mind. When we stop overwhelming ourselves, we gain clarity to see what really matters. Now, apply this to your daily life. How many times have you said yes to something you didn't want, just to please others or avoid looking incapable? Each thoughtless yes adds another piece to the board of your life, making it cluttered and disorganized. 8. Stoicism teaches us the art of saying no, not as an act of rejection, but as a gesture of wisdom. By saying no to what isn't essential, you're saying yes to what truly matters. Doing less doesn't mean being inefficient or lazy. On the contrary, it's about channeling all your energy into what's truly worth it. It's like a craftsman focusing on one piece, polishing it carefully, instead of trying to create several without quality. When you give attention to what's essential, the effect of your actions grows and time seems to stretch. Think of something simple. Instead of trying to answer emails, review a project, and chat with a colleague at the same time, choose one task and focus entirely on it. You'll notice that the task is completed faster and with less stress. This is the power of doing less, but with focus and quality. The Stoic practice of eliminating what's unnecessary goes beyond daily tasks. It also applies to emotions and thoughts. How often do we worry about things we can't control? How often do we hold on to grudges or get lost in assumptions about the future? These thoughts drain our mental energy, leaving little space for what truly matters. Focusing on what's essential also means having a lighter mind, free from useless distractions. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that life is short. Each day gives us a limited amount of energy and time. When we waste these resources on unimportant things, we lose the chance to dedicate ourselves to what truly gives life meaning. That's why it's crucial to always ask, is this really necessary today? Try simplifying. Choose 3 important priorities and focus on them. Let go of what's not essential. By the end of the day, you'll see that you've accomplished more and, more importantly, found more calm. A peace that doesn't come from what's been achieved, but from the space created for what truly matters. So what will you choose? Keep trying to do everything, or start prioritizing what's meaningful. The choice is yours. Do less, but do it better, and find the calm that comes from simplicity. 9. Be firm with yourself and kind to others. We tend to be hard on others and lenient with ourselves. The true wise person does the opposite. Think about how you react when someone makes a mistake. Do you judge quickly, get upset, or become impatient? Now, think about how you react to your own mistakes. Often, we are overly tolerant of ourselves, making excuses and finding justifications, while demanding perfection from others. Stoicism invites us to change this pattern, treat others kindly, and be stricter with ourselves. Seneca teaches us that true wisdom lies in looking at others with empathy, recognizing that everyone has their own struggles. The person who frustrates you in traffic might be having a tough day. The colleague who made a mistake might be dealing with problems you don't know about. When we realize that everyone, including ourselves, is human and flawed, we create space for compassion. But why is being kind to others so important? Because the world is already full of criticism and judgments. When we act with kindness, we not only improve someone's day, but we also nurture our own inner peace. Being harsh with others only creates more conflict, while kindness eases tension. Additionally, by treating others with patience, we show how we would like to be treated as well. On the other hand, Stoicism teaches that discipline is key. Being firm with yourself isn't about being cruel, but taking responsibility for your own growth. Think of a coach who wants the best for their athlete. They don't let the athlete relax too much, but they also don't burden them with unrealistic expectations. The same should be true in your relationship with yourself. Always strive for the best, but in a balanced way. This firmness shows up in everyday choices. How do you resist the urge to procrastinate something important or to complete a task even when no one is watching? It's in these moments that we strengthen our character. Being too lenient with yourself might feel comfortable now, but in the long run, it weakens your resolve. Stoics saw life as a journey of continuous improvement. Every day is a chance to be better than the day before. Being firm with yourself means accepting this responsibility and committing to your personal development. It's not about being perfect, but about acknowledging flaws and working to overcome them. And how do we balance firmness with kindness? It's all about perspective. When you understand that others' mistakes don't define who they are, it becomes easier to forgive. And by seeing your own mistakes as opportunities to learn, it becomes easier to be honest with yourself. Think about it. What would change if you were more patient with others and more disciplined with yourself? Your relationships could become more harmonious, and your personal growth would accelerate. Today, try to practice this intentionally. When someone makes a mistake, take a deep breath and respond calmly. When you feel like giving up on a commitment or making excuses, remind yourself to stay firm. The balance between kindness and discipline helps us live according to Stoic principles. Lead by example, not with criticism, but with actions. And always remember, kindness and self-discipline are not signs of weakness, but of true strength. After all, the world changes more with wisdom than with severity. 10. Remember who you want to be first. Tell yourself who you want to be, and then do what needs to be done. Epictetus teaches us that before starting the day, it's important to ask, who do I want to be today? Not tomorrow, nor a year from now, but today, the day ahead of you. This question is more powerful than it seems. as it guides your actions, choices, and even thoughts. Epictetus emphasizes that, before achieving anything outside of yourself, you need to decide internally who you are and what you value. Often, we live on autopilot, reacting to external demands without thinking if they truly align with who we want to be. A criticism here, a distraction there, and suddenly the day ends without having done something meaningful. However, when you define your intention and tell yourself the type of person you want to be, the day stops being just a list of tasks and becomes an opportunity to shape your character. Think of a sculptor facing a block of marble. He doesn't begin working without first clearly imagining the figure he wants to create. Similarly, you need to visualize the best version of yourself before you start your day. This you might be someone calmer, more confident, more responsible, or kinder. Throughout the day, every decision is like a chisel stroke, bringing you closer to that vision. But how do you bring this practice into your daily life? Start your morning by taking a moment to reflect. It could be while drinking your coffee or tying your shoes. Ask yourself, if today were my last day, would I be living as the person I truly want to be? This simple question brings clarity and purpose, helping you focus on what truly matters. Another key point is realizing that deciding who you want to be doesn't mean striving for perfection, but aligning your actions with your values, even when it takes effort. For example, if you want to be someone more disciplined, it might mean avoiding putting off a difficult task or keeping a promise you made to yourself. These small daily victories are like bricks that build a strong character. Remember too that the vision of who you want to be can change. Just like a sculptor adjusts their work while crafting it, you can adjust your goals as you learn and grow. What matters is keeping your intention clear and acting in line with it. A big trap is letting the world define who you are. Other people's opinions, society's expectations, or even passing trends can pull you off course. But Epictetus teaches that we are responsible for our choices, not for what others expect of us. So, throughout the day, ask yourself, is this action bringing me closer or further from the person I want to be? Think about it. At the end of the day, what do you want to feel? Pride in the choices you've made or regret over missed opportunities? Remember, every moment is a chance to reaffirm who you are. There's no need to wait for a big change. The best version of yourself starts being built with small actions each day. Today, take control of your character, decide who you want to be, and use every choice, every action to shape that vision. After all, the person you want to be isn't a distant dream, but someone you create step by step with your intentions and actions. Choose to start now. Who do you want to be today? You've reached the end of these 10 Stoic reflections. Which one had the most impact on you? Stoicism shows us that real change starts from within, and each of these reflections is a step toward living with more balance and strength. If you've read this far, leave a comment saying, "I made it to the end." Your participation inspires others who are also on this path. And if these reflections helped you, give us a like. It helps us reach more people who are also looking for balance and wisdom. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next content we've prepared with care. These reflections are seeds that grow through your actions. Thanks for being here. And remember, what you do today determines who you'll be tomorrow. See you in the next video.